For those that think they can't move on and recover, there is life after infidelity. Part 2. C started phoning me all the time. Her voicemails constantly sounded exhausted and strained from her sobbing and telling me that I shouldn't do this. She felt as if a part of her died when I left and pleaded to talk to me, claiming that I said I'd never abandon her. I couldn't stand hearing her anymore, so I blocked her. I didn't reply to any of her texts. My cousin attempted many times to contact me, but I ignored him as well. I'll never forget the smug smirk he gave me as I drove away when I noticed him in my rearview mirror. I knew if I saw him, I'd want to harm him, and I knew I could do it easily, and he knew it. But no amount of prison time is worth my freedom. My aunt told me that he felt terrible, which he didn't, and that he did what he did because he wanted to know what it was like to be me. After that, I was done. I avoided both of them, walked away, and never looked back. At the time, I was 22, she was 20, and he was 18. The first year was difficult. I'd never been cheated on before, and it screwed with my brain. But I had lots of pals who were willing to assist me, and my parents were a fantastic support system. My friends really took me on a vacation to France to help me clear my brain. It was the nicest thing that had happened to me. Seeing the Eiffel Tower, eating some madeleines, and learning some French all contributed to my increased confidence. And getting to draw some naked French beauties gave me an added push. Now I'm a 27-year-old graphic designer earning decent money and having a fantastic time. I went on a few dates, but nothing serious. Then, a few months ago, one of the individuals I least expected to hear from contacted me, C's eldest sister. She said she had my new phone number from my parents and wanted to contact me. I'd always been friendly with hers, so we began messaging and keeping up. She and I had a great chemistry. It was fresh and thrilling for her. She was a cute, slender youngster with braces the last time I saw her. But when she showed me a picture of herself right now, my mouth fell. She was out of this world beautiful. Her family's women were always stunning, but adolescence took its toll on her. We recently met, and she embraced me so tightly that I couldn't bear to let her go. We began to spend a lot of time together, and she told me a little bit about what occurred after I left. C was apparently knocked pregnant that night by my cousin. They decided to try something for the baby, but he cheated on her, and she cheated on him again. Things took a turn for the worst for them when she placed the baby up for adoption. C then relocated to Los Angeles. I have no idea or care what happened to my cousin. Had said that she never forgiven her sister for hurting me and that she used to fantasize about me in her playing home. She developed a crush on me and told me that she was constantly thinking about me and that I was the ideal person that her sister didn't deserve. I told her I liked her and would want to start dating her if she was interested. So that's where I'm at the moment. I've got a nice career, a wonderful life, and I'm falling in love again. And I'm content. I've learned a lot from my experiences and would want to contribute my thoughts when I see new articles, to demonstrate that there is life after infidelity, to remind individuals that it is never too late to begin over, and maybe most importantly, never settle for second best. It worked for me, and it may work for others as well. Again, I apologize for the delay. If you're still here, thank you for listening. Update. And I went to her parents' place for a celebration of her young cousin. It's your birthday. I couldn't figure out why she was so happy at first, but he was her favorite cousin, and he taught her how to play the piano, so I think she wanted to show him off. The man was also really cool and a beast on those keys. The party was fantastic, and everyone was having a nice time. And I were chatting to her parents, and her father was still joking about wedding dates with us. Everything was going swimmingly until I saw the old circle with C as their conductor through the throng. I was astounded by how well she still looked. She still had the chuckle I used to like, and she was becoming the focus of attention. I wasn't quite ready to face her yet, so I looked aside so she wouldn't see me. After a few more hours, the party is winding down and everyone is preparing to go. A says she'll be right back and goes to the restroom, leaving me to chat to some folks who inquire about my graphic design skills. After a few seconds, we are all summoned from her living room. C and R having a screaming battle on the backyard patio, almost coming to blows, all while their older sister is attempting to calm them both down. C begins ranting on about how I was taken from her, and how I had no right to pursue me since sisters don't pursue one another's lovers. Then you should have left your legs closed, I yelled back. C shoves her elder sister out of the way and tries to swing at her, but it blocks it and was ready to knock her down until I stepped in between them. This was plenty for me. I was sick of witnessing the lady I loved and her ex, her sister, at one another's throats. This was coming to an end. I pushed it to the side, checked A, and shouted at C. "What the hell is wrong with you?" "Hello, this is your little sister." She finally snapped out of it, and as she looks at me, for the first time in years, she says, her voice cracking, "You came." From the living room to the garden, everyone's gaze was fixed on us. I felt terrible for their parents because they were so ashamed. Her eyes welled up, and she requested if we could speak about it. I knew there was no turning back, so I immediately said okay, but only on the condition that it remained with me. She attempted to explain that she wanted us to discuss alone, but I told her that this was not going to happen. Either she stayed or I walked. It didn't make a difference to me. I wanted it to remain since I don't have any secrets to tell her. She had opened up to me so much that I couldn't keep her out of this, not with her own family. She is now a member of my family, and she deserved to be a part of this. We proceeded to the pool area, and it began like this. "So what's the deal?" "C. You look great. Blue was always your favorite color. It's great to see you again. I'm not taking your bait, but I'm courteous. Thank you. What's the deal with this? What do you desire?" "C. I know I don't deserve anything from you, but I just wanted you to know that I've thought about what I did to you for a long time. You were very kind to me, and I soaked it all in. Believe me when I say that I have no idea why I did what I did." Me. "That's a lie, and you're well aware of it." C then begins to tremble and murmurs, "C. I'm not sure how much you know, but App and I had a child." I gave her the name. I was getting there. During our 3 years together, we discussed the name we would give our first child. Elkin, if you're a lad. My grandmother's name was of a girl, and she loved C when we were kids. The fact that she still names her child after my grandma made me angry for a while. Even I seemed taken aback by this. I'm thinking C never revealed the baby's name to her family before giving her away. I grabbed my hand in hers and stroked it. We exchanged stares before C cleared her throat and gave her sister a nasty glare. "C, how come she's still here? This is just between us." Me, there is no such thing as we. And I have been dating for 1 year, and that meant more to me than the 3 years I spent with you. I look at her, I adore her, and I want to have a future with her. I was crying and beaming at me, clutching my hand tightly. It was a little painful, hee. Whatever you say to me, you also say to her. See, she's had a crush on you for years. She used to compose love poetry and read them to her stuffed animals while you were pretending to be at home. You're not meant to be with her. You're meant to be with me. Me, smiling at her, you composed poetry about me. Can I look at them? They're very lame. A flushed smile back. Me, allow me to be the arbiter. See, cutting us off, look, I know you're with her to harm me, and I'm going to get you, eye for an eye. Can we simply start again, you with my sister and me with App? I'm feeling much better now. I made a mistake, and I really apologize. I'm just human. People make mistakes, but I've learned to be better. I can regain your faith. Allow me to make amends. Will you at the very least offer me that? I swear there are stones on this girl. I was done at this time. Me, years ago, you squandered it when you decided to betray me, especially on Valentine's Day. No, you must hear this. For the next 5 years, I kept asking myself, what did I do wrong? Why wasn't I sufficient? It took some serious soul-searching to realize that the issue wasn't falling in love with you, but rather being dazzled by you. I let our relationship blind me to who you really were and why your previous lovers never stayed around. You're completely depleted, always yearning for someone to fill that empty glass within you. You've never found out what you're looking for. I'm not going to be another pouring in your glass. I honestly thought seeing you would be more difficult than this, but I no longer care about you. I spent a lot of time with new people, new activities, and new locations to help me recover. We had a good time, but we've grown apart. I don't recognize the girl I grew up with when I look at you. Just someone who has to get their act together. I've discovered my one and only. And the letter is A. I adore your little sister. And I'm hoping that one day, when the moment is perfect, we'll get married. Do you want to make amends with me? Be a more responsible sister. Get your act together and put an end to the fighting. You were once her hero. Begin by attempting to recoup those points, and then go from there. C was in tears and trembling like if she had been hit by a bomb. She knew right then and there that this was the end of whatever reunion she had planned. She was attempting to say something, but she eventually sealed her lips and nodded her head to me as if accepting it. She then requested to talk with alone and summoned her eldest sister. As a result, I gave them some room. All of the sisters sobbed and held each other at the conclusion. I believe they finally reached an agreement. Their mother, who was watching them, looked at me with tears in her eyes, grasping my hand, and began thanking me. Their father also thanked me and gave me a hearty embrace. This whole situation was overwhelming. I sobbed in my arms when it was finished. She continued thanking me and said that she had given us her blessing and that she loved me. She also asked if it was okay if she remained with her sisters at home with the family for a bit, stating they needed to finally completely catch up, to which I replied that it was okay. She urgently needs this. I instructed her to call me when she was ready. Those poems are still owed to me by her. I finally came home to write this. Oh my goodness, what a day. But I'm feeling better. Truly outstanding. I got my peace and assisted my GF's family in beginning the lengthy line of repairs. I never believed I'd receive this, but I did. With my sunglasses on, I can continue to look forward to a better future. To all the women and gentlemen across the globe and on this sub who are reading my narrative, I want to remind you that life does not end with heartbreak. You must keep pushing, no matter how difficult it seems. Always aim for greater and never settle with second best. We're not backup plans. We add these scars as memories of how we overcame the worst suffering and turned it into a power. I realize how trite and silly that sounds. But time, patience, and good company can make a world of difference. It's never too late to start. You are deserving. We're all. Thrive, my friends, thrive. This may be my last article, but thank you so much for reading it, and please accept my apologies for the length. I didn't want to leave anything out. Everyone sends forth positive thoughts,